All right. So welcome everyone to our first Suburban Advocacy Call of the New Year. It's good to see all of you. We'll do a round of introductions to start off, and then Dave and I will give some updates from Ride Illinois Active Trans, and then we'll open it up to all of you as usual to ask any questions, share any resources, ideas. And then just for if you're new here, so we have a few just kind of guidelines for the calls, which is mute your microphone if you're not speaking, and just be mindful of your background noises, or Dave and I might mute you if needed. Feel free to speak up. We love to hear from all of you. You can just speak up, but you can use the raise hand feature, so we'll make sure we'll call on you. Or you can use the chat box. I'm not as good at monitoring the chat box, so apologies, but between,
I'll keep an eye on it too.
We'll try to keep an eye on it. And then again, share the road. We might have to, if a conversation is getting really in depth, we might have to just table it for later. But then also just keep everything respectful and courteous, and like no victim blaming or speculation. So yeah, so those are just our guidelines. And yeah, why don't we do introductions? So we'll try to do popcorn style. For some reason, it's always hard where like you introduce yourself and then you call on someone else to introduce themselves. And when I have to do it, I always forget to call on someone, but Dave and I maybe can, we'll nudge you if you forget. But so I'm Maggie Sherwinski from the Active Transportation Alliance. I'm an advocacy manager here, and I'm in Chicago. So for the introductions, your name, the community you live in, and if you're affiliated with any groups. So I'll turn it over to Dave.
Thank you, Maggie. So Dave Simmons, Executive Director of Ride Illinois, locally involved with Friends of Cycling in Elk Grove. And I'm going to call on my new friend, Jonathan.
Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan. I am a second-year student at the University of Chicago, so I'm here on Chicago's South Side. Not affiliated with any organizations in Illinois yet, but I'm interested in hearing what the scene is like, and I'm just here to sort of learn and observe, so I'm excited to be here. And I'll pass it on to Shannon.
Thank you, Jonathan. My name is Shannon. I live in Grays Lake. I work at the College of Lake County up here, our community college. And, last year, I got your information from David Huesmeller. I don't know if any of you all know him. He's the sustainability manager at the college. But we, with several other stakeholders in our area, started a bike share last year. So I'm always looking for more partners. How about Parker?
Hi, I'm Parker Thompson. I live in Elgin, and I'm one of the organizers for a community-based organization out here called Elgin Community Bikes. Yeah, we do community social rides and have a nonprofit bike shop that we've been running for a little over a year now. Toggle through and see who might be next. Sid.
Thank you. My name is Sid Kenyon. I'm the Senior Transportation Planner with DuPage County's Division of Transportation. So obviously a DuPage resident, and I serve as the Trails Coordinator. So I am, I guess, the contact for the county for those things. I like to try to attend a couple of these every year. So I'm mostly just going to be listening in unless there's any specific things you guys have for me. Going to look through the list here, and well, Don, you're on the phone. How about Don Kirchenberg?
I think you're muted, Don. I think if you're on your phone, I think you press *6. Oh no.
Oh, did we lose him?
He's there, but yeah, *6, Don. Try. Is that? Do you all know on Zoom? Is that what you press to unmute if you're on the phone? Huh.
Little.
I don't think I've used the phone before. I'm sorry.
If you're
Yeah.
using the phone app.
Sorry.
There should be a little microphone icon if you're using the phone app. That if you.
Oh
tap
yeah.
it,
If you.
but there's no mute icon next to him, so
Huh.
not sure what's going on.
Maybe
Maybe
Don
we could.
put something in the chat, Don?
Well, Don, we'll keep trying. And maybe we can. Well, let's pass it on to Brian, and we'll make sure we'll introduce you if we can't get your volume working. But yeah, Brian, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Brian Larson. I'm up in Arlington Heights. I'm a member of the Arlington Heights Bike Club up here. And also, I am a graduate student in urban planning at the UIC. And one thing I'm excited about doing and organizing this year, maybe getting some ideas from the rest of y'all, is a community, like sort of family style bike ride this hopefully make it a monthly thing or something for all ages to be able to participate, rather than kind of our more I think sports focused exercise group that we currently have. And I guess I'll popcorn over. Let's see, the next person I see on my participants list is Elliot.
Thanks, Brian. Elliot Ross, I live in Highland Park. I'm on the Board of Active Trans, as you can see by my new background. And I am a member of the Highland Park Bike Walk Advisory Group and also on the Highland Park Transportation Advisory Group. And Brian, if you have any questions about family rides, we did a big family ride last year in Highland Park in the fall in conjunction with Trek Highland Park. We got about 50 people out and it was a great success. And also you should talk to Chris at Cycle Brookfield. And I'll turn it over to Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric Kristofiak. I live in Evanston. I work at Wheel and Sprocket, but I'm involved with a lot of the groups on this call. So Active Trans, Ride Illinois, Working Bikes, Evanston Transit Alliance. And then I sometimes chair like a tri-community thing just between Wilmette, Skokie, and Evanston to make sure we're all sort of on the right track with our like what we're doing, a micro version of this. So yeah, if I can ever help with anything, we do tons of rides here, Brian. So if we can ever help, like getting normal everyday people out riding is the big goal. That's really great. And that's the folks that can help us really push in the community to get better bike infrastructure. Sorry. So I wish this was like Brady Bunch where all our squares were the same so I could just point at you. But how about Annie? You're right. You're right there.
Is that me, Ann Nagel? Hi, everybody. Ann Nagel from Wilmette, and I work with a group, Bike Walk Wilmette. We're an advocacy group that try to make walking, biking, and other modes of transportation safer and more inviting in our town. Thank you. Oh, I saw you, Barbara. I'll tag you.
Hey, Barbara Miller. I'm in Evanston. I'm a member of Go Evanston, which is part of Citizens Greener Evanston. And I'm also with the Evanston Bike Club. And I will tag Tom.
Tom Armstrong. I kind of do what Parker does here in Elgin. I'm a board member of Elgin Community Bikes and also chair of the Elgin Sustainability Commission. So I just kind of jumped onto this call recently, so I'm not sure who.
Oh yeah, if you can call anyone, or here I can call. Actually, yeah, you wouldn't know who hasn't gone. How about I will call Miss Lucas.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I'm Dolores Lucas. I live on the far south side in Riverdale Community number 54. That's in the 9th Ward. I am also an advocate for safe cycling of all wheels, pedestrian, e-scooters, e-bikes, etc. And I represent the We Keep You Rolling bike and wellness group, as well as the Southside Trailblazers. Thank you.
Great. And do you want to call on someone?
Let's see if I could follow the list. That's a test in itself. How about Clevan Tucker?
Good afternoon. I'm Clevan Tucker. I'm from the far south side. I live in the Roseland Heights community. I belong to the Roseland Heights Community Association, and we've been working with the Red Line Extension. So I'm basically on this meeting just to see what's going on around us and to the north, south, east, and west, so that if there's something we can partner with, I'll be aware of that. Thank you.
Great. And would you like to call on someone?
I don't know who has been. How about Barbara Miller?
I've already spoken. I'll bounce it to Elizabeth Adamczak.
My name's Elizabeth. I'm been in bike advocacy, bike commuter since 2004 in the north side of the city. I work at Northwestern University and I've been a big advocate for biking there, and currently lead the Chicago Ride of Silence, and am the state coordinator for the Ride of Silence here in Illinois. At one point I was part of the national board with them. And I'm also a South Suburban resident, born and raised. So a little bit of everything here. And I will bounce it to Charlie because I saw he came on after me. So I know he hasn't gone yet.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I'm Charlie Sachs. I'm up in Skokie. I've started up the Skokie Bike Network last year. We're looking forward to a second year of activity. We had a good meeting, good conversation earlier this week about some things we wanted to do. I'm also involved with Dave Simmons and others on the Ride Illinois Safely program. And I've been active with Active Trans for a number of years. So doing a fair number of things. I don't know who has, I'll take a guess at Parker Thompson.
Parker went, but yeah, that's okay. Let's see, Ryan, you haven't gone, right?
I have not. Ryan Peterson, Senior Transportation Planner for McHenry County Division of Transportation and Oak Park resident.
Is Don Kirchenberg unmuted?
Good question. Don.
Did you hear me?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
we can hear you now.
Oh, good. Okay, I finally hit the right buttons. I'm sorry. I'm on Zoom a lot. I don't know. It just didn't work. I'm with Friends of the Great Western Trails, which out of Winfield, Illinois, and the Great Western Trail runs through DuPage, Kane, and all the way to Sycamore in the western section. And we're an advocacy group, and we have a trail cleanup on April 23rd, rain snow date of April 30th. I wanted to be sure to get that in.
Great. And would you like to call on someone else, Don?
I don't have the list in front of me.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Let's see, Maria.
Hello, my name is Maria Rio Pedre. I'm a sophomore at Loyola University Chicago, and I'm currently doing research on active transportation, partnering with Bike Walk Wilmette. And I just met with Maggie from Active Trans, and she let me know about this call. So I'm really excited to be here and learn a little bit more about what everybody is doing. Let's see, has Valerie gone yet?
I have not. Hi, everyone. My name is Valerie Burstyn. I am, what are we doing here? I was going to go on right here. I'm a senior planner with the Village of Orland Park, but I live in the city of Chicago. So just always kind of keeping tabs on what's happening with Active Trans and the good stuff that they're working on. I was going to, I had pinpointed Mariah as the person I was going to bounce it to. So now I'm not sure we're getting down to the end.
I know your job is harder when you're at the end. I
Yeah,
can help you. Brad.
Right.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. I can't, I'm on the phone, so it's a little hard to have all the different screens up at once, the mute and the video and everything. But hello, everybody. My name is Brad Olson. I am representing the Park Ridge Sustainability Committee. We have been recently formed and we're trying to look into some bike infrastructure issues and other mobility things as well. And so just trying to meet some of the people like yourselves and network with different people, find out what's going on in the local area, share best practices. We were talking to Eric and our friends at Wheel and Sprocket about maybe starting some group rides. So just trying to get the bike stuff going in Park Ridge.
Great. And I can call on someone because it's hard on your phone to see the list. So how about Philip?
Hi, I'm Phil Kaplan, and along with Elliot Rosen, I'm on the Bike Walk Advisory Group in Highland Park. I'm a member of Evanston Bike Club and also a board member of Working Bikes. And I work with a number of these communities on holding events such as Go Green Wilmette with Ann Nagel, helped last year with a bike collection there, and also in Park Ridge and many other suburbs. So we look to partner with communities on biking events in those communities, particularly if there's an opportunity to collect donation bikes. And I will call on Brian, how about Ben Harris?
So hello, my name is Ben Harris, up in Skokie. I'm helping Charlie out with the Skokie Bicycle Network, and I had the opportunity recently to co-facilitate with him for a Ride Illinois class. Had quite a few people on it, and got a specific ask if anybody has any ideas for developing a new bicycle curriculum at an overnight summer resident camp. Just chat me and I'll connect with you offline. I'll give it to Maggie to figure out who's next.
Good idea. I think Ralph, you haven't gone yet, right?
No, right. I'm Ralph Benaziak. For the last 18 months, I've been writing the Suburban biking column for the Daily Herald. I live up in Palatine, so I belong to the Palatine Bike Club, and my main portfolio for them are education projects. We're hosting a smart cycling class with Liz and Army Moretti sometime in June. I also belong to Arlington Heights and Elk Grove Village. Let me pass it over to a fellow Palatine bike person, Mikey Swire.
Thanks, Ralph. Mikey Swire from Streamwood. As Ralph mentioned, I'm a volunteer of Bike Peloton Club, Friends of Cycling Elk Grove. I'm a Ride Illinois rat and a volunteer for Harper College Sustainability. And maybe Sydney?
Well, Sid went here. Let me see if I can find, I feel like there was, Kim. Kim, have you gone? Where did you go?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Okay.
I Kim Messina, now living in Lombard. I am a member of the Elmhurst bicycle class, plus I'm a Ride Illinois rat, pushing all good things, safe biking. And the Elmhurst Bicycle Club, a few of us are working with the city of Elmhurst to create a bike pedestrian advisory board so that we may get the cities to start implementing the bicycle plan that they've signed into the program several years ago. So getting an advisory board from various community input will be a big accomplishment.
Great. And did we miss anyone? Anyone who didn't get a chance to introduce themselves? I see Tessa introduced herself in the chat. She said, reporting live from the village of Northbrook's Planning Department. So we got everyone? So, all right. why don't we jump in? It's great to have all of you here. We have a nice big group today. So Dave, would you like to start with some updates from Ride Illinois?
Certainly. Yeah, good to see everybody. Lots of friendly faces, known faces, and some new faces as well. So a few updates that Maggie so graciously allows me to share at the beginning of every meeting. Couple notes on education. If you're familiar, perhaps if you're not, we have our Bike Safety Quiz mini grant program. It's strong once again. I just jotted down. We've had 95,000 students included in the applications and almost 30,000 claims thus far. Our goal this year is 50,000 students. So hoping to hit that. Typically springtime, we get a big influx. So that program's going strong. Some folks mentioned the Ride Illinois Safely program. That's our more robust education program. So we have several requests that have come in recently, and we have a part-time coordinator who's helping out with that. So that seems to be going strong. I will send some links over to Maggie. She's always so good about sharing links out. The bicycle friendly driver course. So that's the course that Ben mentioned. He and Charlie co-taught that last month. Our next course is Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. These are free courses. They're conducted live via Zoom. Again, we'll share a link out. Would love to have you attend. And then the structure of our education program is league cycling instructors. So we want to boost the number of instructors throughout the state. So we're going to have seminars, not we, but there will be a seminar in Chicagoland this summer. And then we're working on scheduling a seminar in Lebanon, Illinois, which is just outside of St. Louis, to boost the numbers in the southern part of the state. Some outreach / community notes. Kim and I forget who else mentioned the RAT. Some people might be thinking, well, what the heck is that? That's our Ride Illinois regional action teams. So folks who volunteer their time and energy, represent Ride Illinois at events, things like that. So happy to, I know some rats are on this call, but happy to always boost those numbers. So again, share a link with more information out. The 2022 Ride Guide, we're going to be publishing that as a digital guide at the beginning of March. I think we're currently at 22 events included in that Ride Guide, plus some additional material. So that can be downloaded from our website. And we have a new car magnet that will be promoting. It's kind of a yield sign, and it says "I slow for bicyclists." So that's something we've shared as a membership premium or something to purchase. But pretty excited to have something new there. All right, a couple other notes here. Legislation and policy. Ride Illinois meets regularly with IDOT, and we met recently with them to suggest updates for bike pedestrian safety in their BDE, or Bureau Design and Environment Manual. Not all the suggestions are accommodated in the manual, but there seemed to be some real interest in accommodating some of the suggestions that we shared. And with Active Trans lead, there's a letter circulating. I know some of you have already signed it. It's a letter to both IDOT and Governor Pritzker asking the state to follow the guidance that's being set forth for the Infrastructure Improvement and Jobs Act, so the IIJA. I want to make sure that the state adheres to at least 15% of that funding that needs to be directed towards bike and pedestrian safety. Then we're going to be doing some outreach to the Illinois House and Senate, kind of a reintroduction message. We're working on that soon. And then Ride Illinois staff, and I know some folks are on the call here, will be attending the National Bike Summit at the end of March to advocate for funding and safety at the national level. And then lastly, just a couple events that are coming up. We have a fun little webinar coming up on March 3rd with Sean Gossman, who's down in the Shawnee National Forest. He's got a very lively social media presence called Hiking with Sean. So he's going to talk about hiking and biking with Sean in the Shawnee. If you're a Ride Illinois member, you'll be invited to our member meeting on April 13th. And then looking forward in the summer, we've got the Grand Illinois Bike Tour in the middle of June. That's the 12th through the 17th. That is our largest fundraiser. We'll also be repeating the Let's Ride Illinois community ride concept, which was pretty successful last year with 22 associated rides. So that we're going to do that again, hope to double the number. That's in the middle of September. And then finally, October 12th is going to be the Illinois Bike Summit, and that's going to be in Urbana. We do intend, there is the functionality, I should say, for a hybrid conference. So there will be the option to attend virtually. Would love for folks to attend in person as well. So program development and so forth will be happening here in the next few months. And that's what I got for you. Happy to answer questions. You shoot me a chat or email. Maggie, I'll pass it back over to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. Here, I'm going to share my screen actually to just share a few resources with you all. One moment. Okay, I think that should be shared. So this is the letter that Dave mentioned that is going to Governor Pritzker and Secretary Osmond from IDOT. So I just wanted to highlight this again in case you'd like to sign on to the letter. So this is a letter that's we're asking organizations to sign on to.
And we're not seeing it.
Oh, you're not? Oh, shoot.
No. At least I'm
I
not.
can see it. Yeah, I can.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see it, Maggie.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Well, if you can't see it, I'll talk through it and we'll send out the links.
It was buried underneath several.
Okay, good. No problem. So the letter, like the idea is we're trying to, as Dave was saying, the state is getting a lot of money from the infrastructure bill. So we want to make sure that money is not just going to go to road expansion, but also goes to transit, to walking and biking. And we feel like this year, it's a really big opportunity with all of the money coming to the state to really advocate for this. So this is one of our top priorities. So this letter was written by some national transit advocate groups, and then Ride Illinois and Active Trans, we made a few additions and edits to make sure walking and biking was also highlighted. And so you can have a read through it later, but I just wanted to show you all of the organizations who have signed on so far, and it's all over the state, which is exciting. There's about 30 organizations, a handful of your groups. So thank you for signing on. And if you would like to add your group to the list, we have until the 23rd, so next Wednesday. And then the idea is this letter will be sent out to our governor and our Department of Transportation on the 24th, and this is happening throughout the entire country. So this is not just an Illinois thing. This is like a national letter campaign to encourage this, making sure spending is going towards walking, biking, and transit. So we'll make sure to send this out, and we'd love to get more organizations on the list. And then let's see, I wanted to show you just just highlight. So this time of year, like usually January, February, March is the big time of year when there's lots of funding available for walking and biking, facilities, infrastructure. And I emailed this to the Google groups, but this is NACTO sent out a nice kind of summary of a lot of the new programs that are coming for both walking, biking, and transit. So funding programs. So in case you wanted to kind of see what's coming up this year, some of the programs, and we'll make sure to kind of track this and let you all know when we learn about new programs that are available, so you can share it with your municipal staff or county staff or your elected officials. So yeah, so just wanted to highlight that resource. Another resource I wanted to mention, this is something we worked on last year with a law firm, Morgan Lewis. They did some pro bono work for us about snow shoveling. So I know at the time of the year, there's lots of snow. We just got more snow yesterday, or a lot of us did. and like what do municipalities do to handle like snow on the sidewalks? And every municipality is a bit different, have different ordinances, or maybe no ordinance at all. But so some municipalities actually will shovel snow in either the entire community or maybe in the central business district. Other communities require residents to shovel the snow on their sidewalks. So this memo is just kind of more details about what does the state law say? Like what could a community do to encourage just safer walking during the winter? And then also some ideas though, if your community does require residents to shovel the sidewalk, maybe not everyone is able to do that. So some ideas of programs that other communities have put together to like get volunteers from high schools or local Boy Scout or Girl Scout groups, or just community volunteers. So just wanted to share this memo in case this is an issue in your community and you wanted to share it with your municipal staff. Let's see, other things. Oh, I just wanted to quickly mention, so there is a new transit riders union that launched on Transit Equity Day for Rosa Parks' birthday, beginning of this month. And it is, I'll send out a link. We have it on our blog with just more details about this, but it's a coalition of a lot of groups putting this transit riders union together. But it's led by Chicago's, I'm blanking on the name. It's Chicago's Workers for Justice, I think. But I'll send this out in case you want to join the transit union or you're a supporter of transit. So it's CTA, Metra, and PACE. And then, oh, this is a plug. Barbara from Evanston brought this up. Cook County is working on a bike plan right now. So if you're in Cook County and haven't taken their survey or looked at the interactive map, we encourage you to check this out. Provide any suggestions for areas that you think need improvements for biking. So it's a plan, and this plan will kind of be a vision for the entire county of Cook County. And then having a plan always helps bring in more money to the community, and it kind of sets a vision that's community guided of like where do we need our bike network so people can get to and from and connect between communities. I think right now they have a timeline here. They're actually writing recommendations right now, but I checked in with the project manager and they still are collecting community input. So if you want to share with your networks, I think it's very welcome. They're still looking for more input from the community, and we'll keep you updated. And then lastly, I just wanted to plug this advocate directory. This is what we had talked about in December, where you can put your name, your contact information here in case you want to get in touch with other advocates that from our region or from our state. And I know Ralph actually just utilized this list to reach out about his next column for the Daily Herald on art around for biking art. Or no, Ralph, maybe you want to talk. I know you told me not to, we don't need to plug it, but do you want to share a little bit?
I got a huge response from people. The next column that I'm writing about is artwork along bike trails. And it was inspired by a woman that I just interviewed today who lives in Palatine, and she did the tunnel on the Bike Palatine Trail. But it made me think, I bet there's a lot of other suburbs that have these. And sure enough, in fact, some of you here on the call have already responded back to it. So I appreciate that. And so that's what I'm working on now. But thanks, Maggie.
Yeah, thanks. So does anyone have that? Those are all the updates from Active Trans. Oh, actually, sorry, one more update. We are working on, we're going to be doing some gubernatorial election advocacy. So kind of how in the past during election time, we'll have the candidates fill out a questionnaire related to focused on transportation, so walking, biking, transit, to understand what is their stance and vision for transportation. So we'll stay tuned for more on that. But that's something that we're working on. But yeah,
and
so
also
what?
Maggie, if I
Mhm.
sorry if I could, the Secretary of State, there'll be a questionnaire going out to
Oh
those
yeah,
candidates as well.
yes.
Figure out where these folks stand.
So stay tuned. But I guess now let's open it up to all of you. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share? Any questions, ideas? I see there's chatter happening in the chat. I haven't looked at it in a bit. So
Aggie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one item. Again, I live in Highland Park and part of the Bike Walk Advisory Group and the Board of Active Trans. And one of the things that we've been working on has been creating a better environment for cyclists within our community. And last year, the Highland Park Police Department got a grant that basically said it was paying them to pull over cyclists for breaking the law. And so we had a lot of cyclists who would come through Highland Park from the kind of northern Cook County into Lake County and west and north. And we're kind of in the middle of that route. And we have a lot of people that don't stop at stop signs. I know that's a shock to everybody that a bicyclist wouldn't stop at a stop sign. But some of those stop signs are right in the middle of downtown Highland Park, so they're very visible. And our drivers get all very upset because they believe that only bikes have to stop at stop signs and not cars. But anyway, so we decided to be proactive in working with our police department to create a better environment. And so we've got some really good discussions going on, and Highland Park has a new program on driving responsibly next year. And part of it will also include some communication with bike groups. And so we're trying to put together a list of the key bicycle clubs that typically, the members of which would typically ride through Highland Park. And in addition, bike shops that also might have groups. So like Wheel and Sprocket, Eric is on my list. And Highland Park, Track Highland Park. So I'm putting together this list because what we want to do is have a little bit of a pre-season meeting with representatives from a bunch of these people and just talk about what we expect from people and how Highland Park is going to kind of work with them, because Highland Park Police Department really doesn't like pulling over cyclists. And one of the guys who's in the group that I'm in actually is a cyclist, and he's very sensitive to that. But we're thinking that if a little bit more courtesy, we don't, a little bit less of groups like the Judson group blazing through at 30 miles per hour through stop signs and going down major roads and terrorizing bicyclists and pedestrians. And so what I'd like to do, I'm going to coordinate with Maggie. I'm going to run this list by her first, and then I'd like to share that list with you all and get your feedback to see if there's anybody I'm missing and try and fill in some of the blanks of who the representatives are. Believe it or not, it's not easy to find out like who is the head of a club. And there are some groups and rides where it's really hard to find out, if the ride exists and kind of who is in charge. So any questions or thoughts on that? This is something that we really were surprised at how receptive the Highland Park Police Department was to this. And so we really believe this could be a model of cooperation. We have a lot of people on the city council who are very supportive of cycling and sustainability and stuff. So we want to keep encouraging that.
Elliot, Chris Valdez here. I'll just say great stuff you're trying to put together. And no, I've never blown a stop sign on my bike or gone.
I know you haven't.
Yeah, all right. no, that's good stuff. I just maybe just keep us abreast on what progress you do make. I'm just kind of curious to know what you do come out of that. But
Yeah, fortunately, they do not have funding from IDOT to do the bicycle enforcement. And part of the reason is because their funding overall for the police department, our funding for overall was reduced during the pandemic. And so they're down like 10% in terms of staffing, and they just don't have the manpower to deal with it. And fortunately, we've been talking about safety as the #1 priority here. And that we want to make sure that they are focusing on the things that improve safety the most. And the statistics that we showed them clearly show that it's cars that cause accidents and cause problems, not bicyclists. And they believe that. And so that's what their focus is, especially for 2022.
Yeah, Elliot, this is great. And then also, if we can help project out when these meetings are happening, because a lot of times, people that show up to the meetings run the meetings. So if it's motorists and their initiatives that show up and cyclists aren't there, that's reality, right? So, we would love to help, if we can, the North Shore in those communications, either way, whether it is communications coming from Highland Park Cycling Club or to activate folks to come up to those meetings and have a voice.
Yeah, and just to be clear, this meeting is meant to be just for the cyclist community, not for the car community. They have another program, they have a grant for another program, which is vehicle enforcement, and that's going to be focused on distracted driving and DUIs, which is good because those are the things that kill people and are cause people to be hit by cars when they're on bicycles because they're not paying attention.
Yeah, and I think, even if we can try to target some of the club's general email with the results, right? Like, so watch out, Highland Park, this is going to be happening. And, hopefully that in itself would be an initiative.
Mm-hmm. And, I think one of the goals is to come out with some kind of basic principles of good behavior that we all kind of agree to as a group. So there's kind of this community supporting, what makes sense, what's fair, how do we respect everybody's rights, not just care about our own.
Great. Anyone else have anything else they wanted to share or questions?
Well, there's folks online from Elmhurst and Lombard that I would like to have them take a look at the Friends of the Great Western Trails. Well, you're all welcome to, but specifically anybody in DuPage County, look at the Friends of the Great Western Trails Facebook page. And we have an initiative underway to get a safer crossing at a very busy County Farm Road and the Great Western Trail. And we would welcome your support.
I think manage that because every Wednesday night we do a ride when the weather's nice, of course. We ride out along the Great Western Trail, and there are sometimes 20 to 30 of us on a trail ride. We call it the Hump Day Hustle, and we'll be happy to give you our support and advocate for a safer crossing.
Thank you. If the contact information is on the page, and we've been very lucky to have both Ride Illinois and the ATA have come out with statements in favor of a safer crossing, along with the growing list of individuals and elected officials. But Sid Kenyon's on the line, and Sid's my favorite trails coordinator that we've had, that I've been involved since 1995. So nothing against Sid and his work, but it just takes some extra effort to get the bureaucracy to move in the right direction. And so emails seem to be a good way to do that. So if you take a look at the page, we welcome your feedback and your participation.
Great, thanks, Don. And you've done a fantastic job just organizing people around this issue and about the need for safety improvements at trail crossings.
Thank you.
Any other announcements, updates, ideas? Brian, I know you had said you want to organize some family bike rides in Arlington Heights, and Chris is on the line now. Chris, we mentioned you, I think, when you were off as being a good resource for Brian for organizing some family-friendly rides for everyone.
Yeah, I was actually kind of inspired by Chris and Bike Elgin's activities that were mentioned last year during the conference. So kind of thank you for kind of getting the idea rolling in my head, especially now that I've got a little one that I also want to take on my rides. So
Yeah, Brian, happy to share whatever you have. It's Brookfield, but regardless, yeah, we have a number of family-friendly things that we do every month, essentially, to encourage. Really, that's our focus. Is not necessarily the fast recreational blow the stop sign cyclist, which again I'm not one of, but yeah, really the idea here is to build a community of multi-skilled cyclists, so they feel safe on the street, and that often means that we have families of all different age ranges and skill levels. I mean, I always use this as an example. We had a 6-year-old, I think maybe 7-year-old girl on her training wheels complete a 6-mile street course with us last year. So she felt much safer afterwards. She says, "Yes, I'm going to ride the streets." I'm like, "Great, but make sure there's an adult with you when you do it." But anyway, so that's the kind of stuff that we do. We have a monthly slow roll ride. It's really welcoming, really slow, and one of the things that I do is this. The way I try to encourage safety is when I see young kids show up, and especially if they're wearing a helmet, I hand out lollipops and Tootsie Rolls and things like that, just to it makes them feel like they're they're doing the right thing, or they're being rewarded for the right thing. So, but Brian, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to share any tips or tricks that I've used.
I would say another resource might be Rebecca Russman. I think she gave she presented on this topic at an Illinois Bike Summit a few years ago down in Champaign-Urbana. So I don't know if that video was still available through Ride Illinois, but she's an excellent resource for family rides and organizing them.
I can look and see if we have that session still.
This is Ben Harris, and be curious if people can contact me offline if they've ever facilitated a bicycle polo type match. I've read about it. I've never, for safety purposes, I just can't imagine it happening unless you take the pedals off the bicycle, but maybe contact me offline. Thank you.
Ben, there is a group in Chicago that has regular bike polo matches in Garfield Park. And I saw it once, and it is very interesting and entertaining to watch, but does look a little dangerous. But I can see if I can dig up contact information for that group. I know they're on Facebook.
Sounds super cool. I'm going to plug my event first Friday of every month in Brookfield. Cycle Brookfield holds a level of some sort of gathering in these winter months, specifically when we have snow. We're doing some indoor sessions. Ralph, I know that you've kind of brought this up on topic before, but tonight, I'm sorry, is it? No, next week. Wow. Next week we are doing a film screener for it's called A Soul of a Cyclist. Feel free to look it up on YouTube or Vimeo, wherever it's hosted. But we're doing a screener at one of our local art galleries of this film, and just to kind of gather, cyclists. Not everyone wants to be out riding or on a virtual bike ride, even this time. So we're hosting an indoor bike screen, a film on bike culture. I'm not exactly sure. I only watched the 3-minute trailer, so I'm kind of curious to see how this film turns out. But we're gonna do this screener 6 p.m. Friday, March 4. It's a free event. We're gonna have some pizza and and stuff like that, and but we're doing something indoors. So just some ideas.
Hello, everyone. It's Miss Lucas. I put a note in the chat to save the date. Saturday, July 30th will be the We Keep You Rolling's annual Lucas Legacy bike ride and wellness pop-up. So if you're interested in helping us plan it, be it the cycling or the wellness piece, I'd be happy to speak with you on that and invite you to the meetings. And or you can come out and participate in this 7th annual bike ride. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And I can, in the follow-up email, I'll make sure to plug the events that you all are mentioning, including your event, Ms. Lucas, which that's amazing. It's the 7th year. Is that what you said? Your 7th?
Yeah, it is the
Wow.
7th year. And I'm putting a little twist on it. Each year, the name of the bike ride changes a little bit. And this year I'm adding Lucas to the name, Lucas Legacy Bike Ride, to see if I could get a little more activity from adding my name with the different people and communities that I partner with.
I think it'll work.
Thanks.
Phil, did you have something?
Yeah, well, I wanted to mention, because I know, just in case you weren't going to mention, Active Transportation's having its awards reception on April 28th. And I bring that out because if anybody goes, it is my birthday that day. So along with our 5th president, James Monroe. And goes to show what a nerd I am. And so I bring your attention to that. Always worthwhile and fun events. And let's see if in a hopefully somewhat post-COVID world, how we can make those kind of things be enjoyable again. Also, I think it's great that people mention about community rides, and it's good. This is a Suburban advocacy call, but indeed a number of us do go in for rides in the city because how that brings out the vitality of different neighborhoods is truly beneficial to all of us. And I know there's a number of folks such as David and Eric who've participated in a number of these rides, and Eric with Wheel and Sprocket has provided actually some bike mechanic aid at such rides. So one that comes to my mind right away is on my wife's birthday on May 21st in Douglas, on Douglas Boulevard. We'll be biking out negativity, and Equiticity will be combining for a community ride. I participated last year. It was unbelievably fantastic. A police escort getting us through larger streets. There were at least 300 riders last year. And to be part of a larger city ride like that, again, it brings so much to all involved. If I will try and get a link out to give to you, Maggie, and then you can share it with everyone for that May 21st ride. But there will be a number of other rides too this summer.
Great, thanks for sharing. Yeah, so please, all of you, please send me any links that you want shared. And maybe I'll send the email early next week just so you have some time, so we can make sure you all know about all these events going on around our region. And thank you for plugging the awards reception we have. And I also wanted to mention that Ralph is getting an award at that event for his work with the Daily Herald and his great articles. If you haven't checked out his articles, they're really enjoyable to read and brings attention to a lot of great work going on around our region. So
I just popped a link into the chat. So we, as you guys are sharing these events and jotting them down, or adding to the calendar that we maintain on our website. So if there's others you would like to add, please let us know. We don't put like regular club rides. They tend to be community rides and special events, but I'm happy to add other events to that calendar. Shoot me an email, dave@rideillinois.org. And sorry, real quick, Parker, your question about the Illinois Bike Summit will be October 12th in Urbana.
Okay. Yeah, it's like this time of year as everyone's kind of planning for for the summer and for everyone to be outdoors. So yeah, it'll be it looks like it'll be a fun summer. So I think it's about 1 o'clock, so we can wrap up. But it was great to have all of you here and see you. We'll make sure to let you know when the next one is. Hopefully, what's in 2 months? April. So stay tuned for an invite for that and other resources. And again, send me anything you want shared with the Google groups and the group here today. So yeah, thank you all.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Maggie.
you.
Great weekend.
Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend.
Very
Bye now.
informative. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
Ralph.
Have a good one.
Thank you.